Hey guys, welcome back to another episode on Beer Fueled Fantasy Football here on YouTube. We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about some of the franchise tag information that we got today, how it's going to impact free agency, and kind of play rumor mill and pick some of the teams we'd like to see some of these guys land. Follow us individually. We got Chris Hopper here to my left.
At Hot BFF with two P's. I was really confused when you said left because everything on the monitoring section's in reverse.
I think about real life, not in the game.
This isn't a game.
Across the table from me, we got Dan Thury.
At Thury BFF. What's going on, everybody?
I am at Nick Sparts, and the show is at Beer Fueled FF, or on YouTube here, Beer Fueled Fantasy Football for the channel. We're going to talk quick. First news up, LeVeon Bell did get franchise tagged by the Steelers again. It's going to be a $14.5 million cap hit. They're going to try to work out a deal for him. I'm not sure if they'll actually pull that off, or he'll just sit out another training camp.
This is going to be a cluster. You saw what he's asking for, right?
$14.5 million a year.
$14.5, and currently the highest paid NFL running back is $8.6
for Devonta Freeman.
For Devonta Freeman. So, yeah, that's going to be rough, especially given the running back market. These guys are going to be at odds. I don't expect him to get that. I don't expect him to be at training camp again this year, which kind of gave him a slow start to the season last year. He was ultimately okay, but the first couple weeks were a little ugly.
The offensive line just kind of struggled a little bit at the start of the season, too, because his efficiency numbers were just garbage. Mm-hmm. They were giving him plenty of touches, though.
Well, no wonder you hear a lot about, Darius Guys in interviews with Pittsburgh and all that rumor mill going on.
The James Conner truthy in me makes me cry. But so, yeah, he'll be there. I think they're going to ride him one more year and then boot him is probably what will end up happening.
Yeah, and you can't forget that even though he was injured last year, that James Conner was effective when he did touch the ball, marginally.
Yeah, he wasn't as good as I was hoping, but he wasn't bad.
And he was very highly touted coming out of the draft. So,
all right, so that's it for the running backs. The receivers, where you have some more fun.
This is a little bit more interesting.
Jarvis Landry did get tagged, but it looks like the plan is to trade him because the Dolphins have less than zero cap space.
Yeah, they're negative. They got negative cap space.
So they basically need to trade him to make their draft picks this season.
They're probably going to be the worst team in the NFL this year.
That's your call?
They're like...
Even worse than a Hugh Jackson-led Browns?
At least based on talent.
So they should be the worst team.
They may give the Jets a run for their money last year. Maybe.
Weren't the Bears and the Ravens the two teams rumored to be in on this trade?
Those were two teams. I think the Colts were kicking the tires as well, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And the Saints were the fourth team, I think I heard.
God, him and Michael Thomas.
But that Jarvis Landry for Jordan Howard rumor that was floating around earlier this week, the Bears came out and said they weren't even considering it. So,
yeah, that one's out. I would expect either a defensive piece or a pick would be the things I would expect to see.
I think the Dolphins want to be able to move up, so I think that's probably their number one priority is to try to
trade first,
trade into the top 10, top 6, 7, and try to get, so they can get their next quarterback of the future, their next Ryan Tannehill.
Well, if the Bears get Landry, they don't necessarily need to be there.
Nope.
Yeah, so it's trade 7. I believe Bears are at 7, right?
8.
Yeah. I thought it was 7.
Yeah, I thought it was 7 too, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Whatever. Maybe I was thinking where they took Kevin White
a few years
ago.
At 7. Yeah. The Bucks are at 7.
You're right.
That's it.
Bears are at 8. B and B, same difference.
So those are the places we might see Landry land. I'm not sure there's any other places I've seen rumored or would think would be great fits for him.
I've seen some talk with the Browns, but I think that's more people who are just trying to do some trade fun because of what the Browns have. They can pretty much do whatever the fuck they want with their picks and money, but
they've got the capital, but I don't know if they want him.
Yeah. I think the Ravens make the most sense to me as far as a team fit.
It's the money fit.
Not
that's
financials,
the
but as far as a team fit.
He does fit well with Flacco.
And then the Bears have money, so that's not the issue with them, but I question the team fit. I wouldn't hate it. I'd be excited about it still as a Bears fan. But
well, now that Watkins and Robinson haven't been tagged, I think those two are better team fits for Chicago.
I do too, because they need a true number one, not a slot guy.
Yep. So so those two are not tagged by their respective teams. It sounds like the plan is for Jacksonville to sign Marquise Lee back, not Allen Robinson now, and Robinson will hit free agency. And then Watkins, the Rams are going to try to re-sign him, but he will get a chance to hit the open market.
Yeah, and these are the two that are really intriguing. They're both Watkins coming off an injury followed by a down year, Robinson coming off a down year followed by an injury. So you wonder if it's probably not going to hurt their market value. but they both have question marks. It's not like Odell Beckham somehow hit free agency or anything like that. But they're both supremely talented.
So what do you think their money per year comes in at? Probably 15.5, 16 million?
Yeah, somewhere in that area.
And the teams that can kind of afford to pay that up would be teams like San Francisco, Indy, Chicago.
San Francisco would be smart to pay for one of them.
Robinson.
With Garoppolo there, with kind of them being kind of thin at wide receiver, you've got Pierre Garçon, who's really aged.
And coming off a neck injury.
Yeah, you've got Marquise Goodwin, who gets himself hurt, even though he's looked good.
He's a free agent, too.
And I think Goodwin's better as a 2 anyway.
I think he is, too. So you could put one of them guys there. Chicago, like we just talked about, Landry has the money. They'll probably chase. And then I'm trying to think of any other wide receiver needy team, which I just did this the other day.
You still got Baltimore, who may try to make a play for some of these bigger names. If they it depends what they prioritize, in terms of, and I expect them to, at least expect them to try. But there's gonna be a lot of teams out there that are gonna be trying to figure some shit out. These guys are, true number one type of receivers. Young Watkins is 25. Robinson's,
I think they're both 25.
I think they're both 25, and they're both proven receivers in this league.
Yep.
That right there alone, it's going to be, you're going to get teams trying to call. You're going to get GMs, telling not GMs, owners telling their GMs to be like, hey, figure this shit out.
Yeah, go get them.
Yeah. So you may see a teammate just kind of pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah, you don't see these type of players hit free agency very often, and 2 of them in the same year is very rare.
Yeah,
Colts
have money. They could spring up and snag one of them to put with Ty.
Yep.
Robinson again would be another good fit there because I think that Ty and Watkins are too similar, but I think that Robinson and Ty complement each other very well.
Yeah, I think Watkins and Ty are both good enough that they would still be great on the field together,
especially
but Robinson would be
Luck
a
is
better
healthy,
fit.
Especially
but
if Luck's healthy.
I think Robinson's a better fit as far as having a complement of wide receivers instead of 2 guys that are the same type of player.
All right. So that's it for major news. Is there any other free agency tidbits we want to kick around while we got an extra minute or 2 here?
No, not really. I think the only other thing I wanted to mention as a Bears fan is they put the transition tag on Kyle Fuller, who really took the next step last year, making that defense as good as he was. So that will have fantasy implications. It's something to keep an eye on.
That's effectively it's an elevated restricted free agent type situation.
Yeah, and I believe the tender was set at $12.72 million.
Yep, I know it was over 12.5. So teams can still make offers. They won't lose anything if they end up not matching, but the plan is, I think, for them to match.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it for Kyle Fuller there. So I think that's all we got for the initial free agency here. Tampering period starts next Monday. Signing starts Wednesday. So keep an eye out for that. We will drop updates there as soon as we get information.
Should we mention anything about Chris Ivory?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Ivory going to Buffalo.
Completely slipped my mind. Yeah, Ivory signed with Buffalo to be their short yardage goal line. Wait on the sideline while LaShawn McCoy has a new ACL printed up back.
Yes. In case he tears his ACL for the umpteenth time, break glass.
He's never actually torn his ACL.
No, he hasn't, but it just looks like he does.
If you didn't listen to the podcast, do it.
Yep.
But
check out next Saturday, last Saturday with Mitchell Rentz.
Yeah, there's running jokes about LaShawn McCoy to the sideline all the time, that he's a salamander. They've got a 3D printer over there. He can regenerate himself. He breaks all the time and then isn't actually broke.
Yeah, I've just stopped worrying about LaShawn McCoy because it's bad for my health.
It's like, yeah, he'll be back. He's done for the year. Nah, he'll be back in 2 series.
Every time.
Every other play.
All right. Well, so thank you very much for checking in with us guys here. Look for more free agent content here over the next couple of weeks. Then we'll follow that with a bunch of rookie and draft information once we start rolling through that part of the offseason. Follow us here on the show, Beer Fueled Fantasy Football. Like and subscribe. And then for the show, it is at Beer Fueled FF on Twitter.
It's in the top left corner of your screen.
Yep. Follow us there for any news shout-outs you want. We throw all the content we post there.
To my right, I was pointing with the wrong finger. It's like, great.
Hopper will find it.
There.
As you can see, we're so pretty near this.
It's right there.
Yes, this is the second time we've done it this way.
And we get sidetracked pretty easily.
Yeah. Anyway.
We try our best to be organized, but we're never prepared.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway.
Right. Thank you so much for checking in with us, guys. We'll catch you guys next time.
See ya.
See ya.